Okay. Ding. Unreal Engine. Okay, so game we are live. We are live. We are live. Okay, so first off, let's do all the administrative stuff, all the boring stuff. And clicking. Okay, so that's posted up there. And Discordiant. That's here, there, everywhere. Alright, so let's go ahead and move Discord over here. Now, close Twitter down. Alright, so oh, one of these days I should actually do like starting soon kind of screens and be right back screens and things like that. I really should make some of those for myself. So, we will continue in Act 2. Apparently, we are into Act 2 now. Let's go talk to Persephone, because we did say we would ask her to possibly help the other Medusa.
Back again so soon, Grace? You're practically a regular at the club. Did you end up finding Medusa? Or did she vanish the moment you came near, like she does with every other idol?
She definitely did not vanish. Maybe I better explain what happened.
I knew it. We never should have brought that monster to the New World. Athena is a fool to think Medusa can be controlled. You're fortunate to have made it out in one piece. It could have gone very poorly for you.
I know, but let's focus on the important part of the story.
Which is that if you believe what she says, Medusa appears to be exonerated.
And that brings us back to Pan.
I don't imagine you've
necessarily.
confronted him yet.
He admitted to selling out Calliope, but not to killing her. I don't know if I can believe him.
Nor I. Pan would do anything to save his own skin. Allow me some time to consider our next move. On a different matter, I've had time to do some thinking. After Aphrodite's party, we never really spoke about the Eidolon and Calliope's memories. No doubt you have many questions.
Apollo told me a little about it. He did say I should talk to you, though.
Did he now? Is there anything you'd like to ask?
Oh, well, I guess since you're offering.
When all these memories start to return, will I feel different?
First, you'll have dreams. Places you've never been, people you've never met. But unlike with normal dreams, these will linger.
I have
Then
that all the
they will
time.
come while you're awake. Sudden flashes or snippets of déjà vu. And sometimes it will seem so real you'll swear you're hallucinating. If there's anything difficult about the process, is that it becomes hard to differentiate between your life and all these other lives you're now recalling.
It does sound confusing.
Confusing and often unpleasant, as not all the memories will be fond ones. But that will pass in time.
Uh,
You said it becomes hard to differentiate your life from the others. How hard, exactly? It'll still be me, right?
Oh, how do I explain this? Grace, would you say that you are who you are because of your experiences? The things you've lived and done?
I guess so, sure.
Well, all the things Calliope has done, and those before her, will now be yours. They will feel like a part of your life as well. Thus, they can't help but shape you. The Grace that is now will be and will have done so much more. Fortunately, you don't have to deal with every memory. Each time the Eidolon passes on, the oldest memories fade, and that helps.
um,
How many times have you died? Can I ask that?
We call it passing on.
it's
I've
dying.
lost track of just how many times I've passed on my Eidolon. A dozen? It's happened less often in more recent eras.
And the one you told me about, the woman married to that gangster? She was the most recent?
I don't think of Chastity as a she. That was me, just as the one my husband blasted with a shotgun was also me. It was one of the few times I wasn't able to prepare my successor. We were friends, yes, but I didn't know what Persephone was, and I had no idea what I'd just become.
That must have been difficult.
It was more difficult taking over my dead husband's territory. Women weren't often mobsters in those days.
Were you really a gangster? I've heard it said, but it sounds...
Primitive?
Let me
Medieval?
put it this way. I felt as if I'd been blessed by a dying woman who saved me from a prison of my own making. I didn't know what I was, but I was free. I felt more alive than I'd ever felt before, and strong enough to toss an ox 10 feet. Did I set out to become a mobster? Not exactly. My husband's friends thought I'd murdered him, however, so they came after me. And one thing led to another.
Oh, I see.
Athena found me just as my memories were starting to return. I wasn't permitted to continue doing something so noticeable, so I was carted off to Olympus. It's too bad, really. I was an excellent mobster.
Wait, you said that Persephone passed on her Eidolon as she lay dying. What if she had just died?
The Eidolon will keep us alive for a time, even in the most horrific circumstances, in hopes that there's someone to pass it on to.
What if there isn't? What if Chastity had died before you were shot?
Well, then the line of Persephone would have ended then and there. Oh, there are some stories that say an Eidolon will go wandering, that it never really dies. And who knows if there's any truth to that. It's not exactly something we've had the opportunity to study. All we know is that many idols have left us forever. They've died, and that's how it happens.
And see, that's what Venus could have done. Hey, welcome, Elena. Alina, sorry. Pretty much picking up where we left off. Just went to go see Persephone,
Wait,
have a
how is
chat
it
with her.
good that old memories start to fade?
Think of how old we are, Grace. If all those memories returned to you with perfect clarity, they would destroy you.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean you've all forgotten so much?
Well, far more than we remember. The further I think back, the more it becomes a bit of a blur, actually. You'll recall important moments. Some will be mixed up with the stories mortals tell, and you won't be sure which is the memory and which is the story. An idol's memory is a series of islands in a dark ocean, and they become smaller and smaller as they recede into the horizon. It sounds dire, but you become accustomed to it. It just
Really, it
takes
just
time.
sounds like normal memory.
And now you have all the time in the world.
It's a lot to consider. Assuming I'll even have time to worry about it, what with the trial coming.
Either the trial will end poorly, in which case all of this is moot, or it will end well, and you will have plenty of time to digest.
Yeah, thanks for the update.
I'm a realist, Grace. It's what I'm best at. Now then, unless you've something else to ask.
Yeah, I mean, our memories just sound like normal mortal memories, where as we get older, the older memories fade away. Just over a longer period of time, basically, is what their memories sound like. Um, anyway, let's see here. What
What
about
happened
the
to
other
the other
news?
muses? You mentioned two others. Were they lost in the war?
One of them was, though not like you think. The day we were to leave on the ship, Talia simply never showed up.
Do you know what happened to her?
We never heard from her again. Apollo thrashed about in mourning, but, Talia had been fading away for years. It wasn't a surprise to the rest of us.
What about the other muse, Cleo?
Died long before. A victim at the hands of a mortal man, when she no longer possessed the power to bedazzle him. As I understand it, he kept her in a cage as a pet until her eidolon shriveled up and perished. He was dead before she was.
Ugh, that's pretty dark.
Yes, well, we come by our wariness of mortals honestly, Grace.
What's the deal between you and Apollo? The way you two fight.
I've told you how he and the other idols stood by and let me rot with Hades, did I not?
It seems more personal than that.
Okay, there's an old saying that no one escapes the underworld. But that's not true. I did. Once. Not long after Hades kidnapped me. I was homesick, and I missed my mother. Charon took pity on me and allowed me across the Styx. And after that, Grace, I waded through darkness itself to get out of there. Hades chased after me relentlessly, but I evaded him, right up until I got to the very slopes of Olympus. And who do you suppose was the first idol I met?
Uh-oh.
Apollo stood there. I cried out to him, begging him not to let Hades take me, and yet Apollo did as he has always done. Absolutely nothing. Hades was thrilled, and I knew then and there I could never rely on my so-called family for anything, ever again.
Tell me more about the war. It seems to have had a huge effect on all of you.
That's putting it mildly.
From Aphrodite's song, I know Ares betrayed everyone. What did you do?
Honestly, after my mother was murdered, I barely remember.
Your mother?
Her name was Demeter. Not truly my mother, but an idol who had always cared for me since the early days. I thought we'd be together forever. Then Ares brought those filthy bastards down on us. Demeter was slain by bullets. Until that day, I had believed we were untouchable.
I'm so sorry. That must have been hard to lose her like that.
I watched her fall, heard her scream. I would have run to her, but I was pulled away to safety. By Hermes, I think. Whatever was left of the old Persephone, the innocent girl with the long hair who loved her gardens. She died with Demeter that day. After that, I don't know. We went from hiding place to hiding place. I didn't even know what Hephaestus had done for us when I found myself on a boat. We might have been gods once, but after the war, we were just refugees, like so many others, fleeing to a distant land.
Was it hard for the idols to come to the New World? It's just a place like any other, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't the place that was hard, it was the fear. We knew we were vulnerable. We knew mortals could and would kill us. Suddenly, there were rules. We had to be secret. We had to stay close together. We huddled in the shadows and quaked each time the mortals so much as breathed in our direction. We couldn't all live that way. Some of us drifted away, faded into the night without so much as an explanation. That's what's been the hard part. Our inevitable decline in a place where we don't belong. We can pass on our eidolons as often as we like, but it will never truly be home.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Oh, yes. That's where I'll be. Around.
I don't understand why they don't. I mean, if they're living in Americas now, why they don't go back to Europe. Is there something in Europe hunting them specifically that they can't go back, or? Okay, so we talked Persephone, so let's go ahead and go back home for the night, apparently.
Oh, hi, Grace. I can just call you Grace, right?
That's my name. Where's Freddy?
She went out to get snacks. We were gonna watch TV while we waited, but, well, here you are.
Hmm.
What, you and Freddy are friends now? When did this happen?
When I came looking for you, Friday has this movie that I've never seen. Super cool, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, would you rather not share your mortal friends? Anyway, I guess Athena wants to talk? I can zip us over to Olympus anytime, if you're free.
So this is what you do? Ferry people around?
I'm the god of messengers, baby. Travelers, doorways, any kind of transition, really. The old Hermes said that the transition part made even more sense for me, which, you know, extra cool, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I can connect any two doorways anywhere, just like that. So it's super easy to take people wherever. I don't mind.
You mentioned the old Hermes a lot.
Well, now we
You
think
knew
we
him?
know how
Yeah,
they
I
got
was homeless for a
into
while. It wasn't a great time, and he took me in.
the reliquary.
Everyone's on the same journey, he used to say. Only the roads are different. And then he went on his journey. Man, I still miss him every day.
Wait, isn't he still inside you? Aren't you kind of the same person now?
Not yet. It's only been a year. Maybe I'll feel him again one day. That'd be nice.
Let's see.
You say it's easy, but do you like doing all these errands?
Huh. Yeah, I never thought about it. It's nice to have a purpose. Athena is super sweet, and she has a big, important job. Why wouldn't I want to help her out?
You can't be this nice. Are you for real?
Oh, well, the old Hermes used to say that a willingness to serve is more important than a willingness to be served.
Do I have a choice about seeing Athena? I'm not in the habit of being at anyone's beck and call.
I mean, I guess you could say no, but I wouldn't. If Athena wants something, she's gonna get it eventually. She had that look in her eyes, like she really wants to talk to you.
She could always come here. Everyone else does.
Athena entered the mortal world? And now she doesn't do that ever. Can you imagine?
How does Athena manage never entering the mortal world?
She doesn't have to, I guess. Everyone brings her everything she needs. And that creepy owl of hers? Apollo says it's her eyes out in the world. It's everywhere. Watching.
So what, she just never leaves the building?
She'll go to the reliquary and places like that. Just never where mortals are. She wears a toga and calls cars iron horses.
I suppose there's no point in putting it off. Do your thing. Take me to Olympus.
Okay. Oh, when you see Freddy, tell her I'm sorry I couldn't stick around for the movie. And mind if I say something?
Sure.
You've changed. I mean, from the person I met when I first came here. When, you know, you got it together really quick.
Well, kind of had to. When your life is on the line.
Thanks, I guess.
Ask him the question. Ask him if he sent Athena to Okay, choose my trait. Oh, I can choose another trait now? In your face, Grace is very punk rock, not afraid of reckless and aggressive when called for. I think charming actually would work better here.
There you are, Grace. Do have a seat.
Hmm.
I prefer to stand, thanks.
As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the reliquary.
Oh.
I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized it's off limits. Particularly for your mortal friend.
Hmm. Let's see.
Am I not supposed to be proving my innocence? Would you prefer I did nothing?
I'd prefer you didn't break any other rules in the meantime.
Such as? Do you have a list I can read, or do you just make them up as you go?
You think our judgment was rash? It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
Do you really? Let's explore where all that caring has gotten them, shall we? You're holding on with a grip so tight, your knuckles are turning white. But that's not enough, is it? Every idol I've met is either lost or broken, or both. They're all slipping through your fingers. If you actually cared about them, you'd do something about it instead of sitting up here worrying about your precious rules.
Zeus was the first to leave. King of the gods. And we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next. Walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares betrayed us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered. And by one of our own. The list goes on.
And?
So you add to it. I show up and you kill me off because you can't be too careful.
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean, our immortality is disappearing.
And?
Very soon now, the idols will be no more. We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if it appears unfair.
It doesn't appear unfair. It is. After all, whether you agree with their choices or not, they made their own choices. Let's see here. Well, our simply human interaction is also possible that is needed for their immortality. That hiding away is what is actually killing them. Let's see.
You know, it's too bad. I've been an idol for 5 minutes, and I've been out there solving problems you've all wrestled with for how long now? I could have helped you, Athena. I could have helped all of you. But you don't see that, do you? You're so busy holding on to what you have. You can't see what you're throwing away.
I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I do. All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
Definitely not talking about Medusa.
Who has access to the reliquary? Is it anyone with a key, or...
Doesn't matter, you gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
The same person gave it to me, who gave it to Calliope.
And who gave it to Calliope then? I see.
Let's see here.
Speaking of the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliope died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliope was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal. One she knew. Perhaps the incidents are connected, perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
Okay, she dodged the question there.
What do you know of Pan?
Pan? That's not a name I expected to hear. Been sniffing around you, has he?
I have some suspicions, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Pan lurks at the edges because he likes it there, seeking out whatever profit he thinks he can get away with. Avoid him, dear, or he'll stick to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe.
Okay, so you don't like Pan much. I get that. But do you think he could kill someone?
We've all killed, my dear. I was once a warrior queen, feared by mortals and gods alike.
Another idol, I mean.
Is that where your investigation has led you? To Pan?
Sort of, but I feel like I'm missing something important. Maybe the goddess of wisdom could help me out?
It would be helpful to know what Calliope was doing at the reliquary, but she's not available to ask. Not until you regain her memories, at least.
Why not put off the trial until then? Seems like a good way to solve all this. Yeah?
And trust what you decide to share? I think not.
Okay.
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally, Grace. Athena's first instinct is to follow the rules whenever things get rough. As if she believes that if the idols don't blindly follow every rule to the letter, we'll dissolve into utter chaos.
Well, is she right?
Probably.
Do you think she's telling the truth? About the idols dying out?
I'm not sure. I mean, if it is true, why hasn't she told the rest of the chorus?
It sounds like she doesn't trust you.
Well, the feeling is mutual. At any rate, I'm afraid we're going to have to disappoint her again.
Uh-oh, what now?
You need to go back to the reliquary, Grace.
You know, Athena said something to me. That it'd be nice to know what Calliope was doing there in the first place.
And she's correct.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues behind, wouldn't Hecate have found them already?
That's a really good question.
Nothing
can't
was
ask
taken.
Calliope
That
what
doesn't
her
mean
plan
something
was.
wasn't added.
But you might be able to remember what she was doing there.
Her memories? But I thought...
That it will take years, yes. But if you go somewhere important to Calliope, or touch something special to her, you'll get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the reliquary so she can have deja vu?
Pretty
I'm
much.
willing to wager the place Calliope met her fate has left its mark in Grace's psyche. We have only to uncover it.
Of course, you could also try going to the place where they, Grace and Calliope first met. That might also trigger some things. Okay. Until she starts meowing, then I'm gonna let her out again. Okay. Let's see here.
Are you sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
I do know something about how memories work after the transition, but no, I'm not certain. You want certainty? Wait until your trial. Without discovering more, the outcome of that is certain.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, my, you're just full of ideas, aren't you? Do you have any suggestions regarding how we might go about doing that?
Deja vu it is.
Let's see here.
Last time Freddy and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
I'm certainly not suggesting we ask Athena for permission.
Then you mean...
A week ago, I would have said breaking into the reliquary was impossible. Yet it appears Hecate can be surprised. If her book says she will be.
Let's hope the book says that again, I guess.
Unless you've some other plan. I'm all ears, as they say.
Let's see.
What about the alarms? I'm not eager to have Asterion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms. At least at first.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then they discover you and we apologize profusely.
Will not be a good look, though, just saying.
Let's see here.
Let's say I do this. What am I hoping to find?
Some memory of who attacked Calliope, or why she was there. Anything we could work with. I've spoken to almost all the idols, and every single one says they hadn't seen or heard from her. If she was keeping to herself, then why now? What started this? We're missing something important, Grace.
What if Grace goes there and the memory she sees is that she attacked Calliope? A Grace from the future. It'd be a twist.
Okay, pretty.
Is there really no other way? This seems a bit desperate.
That's because we are desperate, Grace. Either we take this shot at learning the truth, or we overthrow Athena and the chorus by force, and disregard this stupid trial.
She's joking, right?
No, she's not pretty.
She's joking, right?
Nope. Not in the slightest is she joking.
Right then.
You're
Back to the reliquary it is.
Any idea how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool. I'm sure we can figure something out.
Okay, so I need to shut the door.
I can't go in with you. Hecate would sense me right away. I will, however.
Seems like
stay
Persephone
close
can't
by.
go anywhere because she
Now,
like
that
sets
doesn't
off
mean you
alarms
should take
everywhere she
stupid
goes.
risks. Don't be a fool, Grace.
We're already way beyond that, aren't we?
Come on, the time for adventure is now.
Oh, this will not end well. I know it.
Yes, well, we're trying to sneak into a place that we literally have already just been told this night. To be honest, it kind of like be honest with Hecate, or Hecate. I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. No, Nox, stop trying to put holes in things. Um, yeah, because it seems like it would be. I mean, they're they're the ones who responded to the alarms. So shouldn't they know which things she touched or what areas she was seen in, so that it would be easiest to go and find that? It just seems like the intelligent thing to do there. Um, oh, purr boy. Yes, purr Noxy boy.
Ah, so that is now. Oh, you were expecting us? It is written that you would come, yes.
That is so cool. I kid you not.
Yet it was also written that you would sneak into the reliquary as Calliope did, so this encounter is unanticipated.
Hmm. The book was wrong again.
This book of yours really isn't as accurate as you make it out to be. The course it lays out is almost always correct. The smaller things, they are subject to free will and frequently change. However,
Small
even
changes.
without the book, I do understand why you've come. Is there a reason why you believe my answer will be different now?
Let's see here. Appealing to her wanting the truth could be one thing, but then also saying Athena is involved in this could be something else as well.
The only reason you won't let me in is because Athena forbids it, right? She is the one to whom I made my promise, yes. What if I said that she's a suspect in Calliope's death? Is she a suspect? She's an idol. I don't know that she's not a suspect. Yet. Without more evidence, isn't her command potentially self-serving? You will regret this. That is also written.
That is a yes.
Go quickly. Look, but do not touch. The reliquary stores many artifacts, some dangerous. Got it. Okay, Grace. What the heck do you do now?
Purr.
Of all the times to not have Freddy around, she'd love this. First things first, how do I do this? Where do I even start? Calliope must have been here. She could have stood in this very spot. Maybe if I just focus.
Following the footsteps of the dead.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've definitely been here before.
Um. What about the mirror? Is that... Poseidon's Trident. Interesting that they have this here. If Poseidon
this
just
an
wandered off into the
armory,
sea, Nox, you're making it very hard to see my screen, bud. You either go in or come out. Okay.
I don't get any feeling from that. Will I know it when I see it?
Let's see. Something that would be important to Calliope. Looks like the wings of Icarus there.
I don't even know what language that is.
An olive branch. Sign of peace. Or that could be, things for their hair. Instrument. That would be important to her.
Is that a weapon? A musical instrument? Maybe it's both.
Okay. The apple. Supposedly the fruit of the gods. Secret to their immortality.
Can you hear me?
Why am I calling to
What
Freddy?
am I doing? All that'll do is tell everyone where I am.
Huh? Huh? That made no sense whatsoever. The context there was completely weird.
This is it. Calliope was here. She was standing right here. And she...
Don't touch. No touchy. No, don't touch. Don't touch. No touchy. That's what you regret.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
I don't suppose there's any chance you'll put those knives away. Okay, then.
Yeah. Powers don't work on them, I suspect, because they're not living beings. Yeah.
What's happening? Why didn't it work?
Because they aren't human.
Oh! Grace?
How did she get here?
Freddy! We've got to run. My powers don't work on them. They just keep coming.
And reappearing in front of... Freddy, don't be stupid.
No, I won't let you. Freddy!
Check on your friend? Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God, Freddy. You summoned the Furies.
What?
Those beings were the Furies, beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here?
I didn't. There was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it.
There is only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the Fates. Using the mirror would not have brought the Furies down upon you. Not unless the Fates themselves decreed it.
I don't care what brought them. They killed Freddy. You need to help her.
I have no power over life and death, Grace. None of us have that. This was no defense or spell of the reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself fortunate, Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted. But now is when you leave. Pray the knowledge you obtained was worth the price.
I'm not leaving Freddy. Not like this. All this magic. There has to be something. Don't tell me there's no way to undo this.
Come. There's nothing more to be done.
Well, that was rather sad. I kind of figured that's what would happen to Freddy as soon as she made that decision.
I'm sorry it came to this, Grace. It's clear what your friend meant to you.
It should have been me, not her.
Don't say that.
This was my fight, my problem. I'm already slated to die. If anyone paid the price.
Your friend gave you the chance to not repeat history. Don't waste it. Grace, is that how Calliope died? Was she also attacked by the Furies? Do you remember?
Yeah. She meant to use the mirror, but she never had the chance before they came.
No doubt sent by the same person. Perhaps for the same reason.
Who could send the Furies after me? Even Hecate had no idea who possessed that kind of power.
No one does, not these days. Hecate herself would have been my guess. Zeus might have, in his role as king of old Olympus, but he is long gone.
Clearly someone can do it.
Unless they weren't summoned. They could have been responding to something you did unwittingly, something Calliope also did. And what that could be? I'm afraid I have no clue.
I know Calliope was there to use the mirror, but it was just feeling. I still don't understand why.
There's only one use for that mirror, to speak to the Fates.
Yeah, okay, but why?
The Fates know all that is or will be. Destiny is theirs to command. Or so it's said. One contacts them either to know one's fate, or to change it. Not that the Fates are likely to oblige.
If the Furies are so powerful, why did they stop? They just stabbed Freddy and left.
They're not assassins, Grace. They exist to punish. They demanded blood, and blood was taken. It didn't need to be yours.
So if Freddy hadn't interfered...
They wouldn't have rested, not ever, until they had their due.
What are the Furies? They didn't seem like people.
Think of them as forces of nature, but an aspect mortals rarely encounter. They're older than any idol. They were created to enforce the ancient laws.
There are ancient laws now?
Well, there were. Laws even the idols had to obey from the earliest days of old Olympus. Even if they still existed and you'd broken one, we would all know. These are not petty crimes one stumbles into.
Can these fates really control the future?
They control the fate of all beings. I imagine it's they who give Apollo his powers, and they who write Hecate's books.
So someone really didn't want Calliope messing with them.
Or you, it seems.
Could it have been the fates? Maybe they don't like being called on now for anything.
They're not known to be vindictive. If they don't want to answer, they simply won't.
I don't know what to do. We still have no idea why Calliope wanted to talk to the fates.
Well, there is another way to ask them.
I wondered how long that would take. Hecate is enraged. She's threatened to close off the reliquary entirely and forever. Athena is beside herself.
How long have you been standing there?
Long enough. You just had to keep pushing, didn't you? Until you got what you wanted.
This isn't about me. We're out of options, Apollo, and you know there's only one other way to contact the fates.
Oh, how convenient.
Why are you here, Apollo? You made it clear I was on my own.
Well, you're not on your own, are you? You have the selfless Persephone to guide you.
May I explain it to Grace, or do you have another option, Apollo? If so, now's the time. I thought not. The fates will respond to the ruler of Hades, the true underworld and realm of the dead. What I propose is that we go there and take back the throne that was stripped from me.
How do we get to Hades? Do we need a key, like the reliquary?
Athena took my key, and the entrance at Lake Avernus was sealed long ago, which leaves only Hermes.
They won't take you.
They might, if you ask them to. Then why did you come, Apollo? To gloat? To wish Grace well? Or to actually help? Get us there. I'll lead us to the throne, and Grace can speak with the fates. It's simple.
Is that something we can do? Just go to the land of the dead and, overthrow it?
Truth be told, there isn't much to overthrow. Few mortals still believe in Hades, and thus its halls have been nearly empty for eons.
So how do you...
The throne itself is the key, both symbolically and literally. Claim it, and Hades is yours.
But you can't claim it because you're barred from Hades.
By a rule that we would need to break were we to do this, yes.
Is Apollo right? Is this something you planned all along, Persephone?
Meaning what? What, that I knew what would occur at the reliquary? Perhaps you think I'm the one who unleashed the Furies upon you.
You've waited for this opportunity for over a century.
Waited, yes. Bided my time. And the moment has arrived.
But that's not why you originally agreed to help me?
No, that's not why.
Yeah, it's not like she could have known.
So if we go to Hades and, find your throne, how much trouble would that get us into, exactly?
A great deal.
It's not as if Athena could execute Grace a second time.
But she's already been warned about breaking more rules.
The responsibility of this will be mine. Let Athena try to take my throne again.
Is there really no other way to talk to these fates? Do we have to take the nuclear option?
Do you want to try going back to the reliquary?
No. No, hell no.
The only other person with a direct connection to the Fates is Apollo here.
You know it doesn't work like that.
Then it's the throne or nothing, isn't it?
Was another crazy plan, right?
Grace,
I know, but there's no point in stopping now, is there?
I can't. I'm sorry, but this is a step too far.
And consider this, Apollo. Grace's mortal friend was slain by the Furies, according to the old laws.
Her soul is in Hades.
Wait, what? You said Hades was empty.
Your friend may, in fact, be the first new soul to enter its halls in many years.
And thus could leave it. Fine. I'll get you into Hades. But I'm not going with you.
If that's what you prefer, by all means.
It's fine, Hermes. Get this over with.
Shall I wait here, or...?
No. I'm not gonna lie to them. Hermes has always treated me fairly.
Oh, hey, if it isn't Apollo and Grace and, Persephone. Wow, the whole gang, huh?
I'm afraid I have to call in that favor. I need you to take Grace and Persephone to Hades.
Oh, man, I don't know. Athena specifically said I wasn't supposed to take anyone, you know? No matter what.
This is pointless. They're never gonna help us, Apollo.
Can I ask what's going on? Nobody ever tells me anything, and you want me to get in huge trouble, but for what?
Charming or clever here? Let's see. Kind of leaning towards saving Freddy here. But I'm also kind of leaning towards telling him just everything, but in this case, I think Freddy's the...
Freddy's dead, Hermes.
What? When did that happen?
She was killed by the Furies. That means she's in Hades. Probably. I have to try to find her there. You're her friend too. I know you wouldn't want to abandon her.
Okay.
He did say he could open it anywhere.
Signal when you need to come back.
You sure?
Yeah, feels like the right thing.
Be careful, Grace. And remember, the underworld doesn't give up its shades without a price.
I think I can tell her the rules, Apollo. Let's go.
Welcome to Hades. Or the underworld, actually.
Welcome to the real underworld.
Wow. It feels so empty. So lonely.
It's not completely empty. Neither is the throne, for that matter. A bitter shade named Orpheus has been squatting on it since my exile. I fully expect he'll be waiting for us.
Who is this Orpheus? The name sounds familiar.
It should. His is a popular tale among mortals regarding how he once came to the underworld to retrieve his love, Eurydice, and left with nothing. Hades tricked him, you see, and with Hades dead, the blame has evidently fallen to me.
So he's not a fan of yours?
He is not a fan, no. Not that it matters.
You didn't think to mention earlier that the throne was occupied?
Because it's irrelevant. Orpheus isn't an idol. He's just an angry little man clinging to an existence that doesn't want him any longer.
And what are we supposed to do? Organize an armed resistance? Challenge him to a duel?
That's what you're here for.
I'm gonna fight him?
Oh, you'll see.
Okay, so there's an angry ghost sitting on your throne. Anything else about this trip you've neglected to mention?
Come. It's time to cross the Styx.
So we get to meet Charon. It also seems like places like this are still in full swing, even if they do look a little on the decayed side.
The ferryman will come soon. As we are not dead, you will need to convince him you are worthy of passage. State your case clearly and with determination.
Wow, he's a bit bigger. And not as skeletal as I thought.
I am Persephone, also known as Despoina and Kore Sotiera, once queen of the underworld, and shall be again. No, Charon, I did not bring you any cards. I am not here to entertain you.
Hey there! I'm Grace, Idol, and last of the Muses. Is that enough?
Of course she's a muse. Why would she lie about such a thing? He says he's always liked the Muses, and that you're very pretty. No, she didn't. Neither of us brought games to play with you, Charon. Stop asking.
Oh, gosh. I like him.
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something to amuse him. See? You don't even need to interpret that for me.
Yes, what fun. Thank you for encouraging him. Let's get underway, Charon. It's a long ride to the throne room.
Yeah, that's funny. Why is my eye glowing?
I wouldn't touch that. Way too much for you. Overload you. Blow a fuse. Every story, every memory winds up here in the water. I used to dream that this river would rise, swallow the anger, tears in my eyes. Then suddenly I was found alone. I destroyed Hades, but was denied his throne.
Ilia's dead here, isn't it?
Everything here is fading away. She needs her queen.
We're here for Freddy, too.
I killed the king fair and square. They had no right to take it from me.
I don't know much
Hey, it's Orpheus.
Someone's coming. There's music floating through. Someone's coming. And it has me singing too. We have visitors. I think we all know what to do. To the throne room. This bard's about to meet a muse.
There's someone singing with us.
That would be Orpheus.
Is he a muse?
Oh, he's so much more than that.
Someone's
We
coming.
might have a problem.
A wolf is waiting in the
This
tomb.
bard's already
Someone's
dead,
coming.
but you can defeat him.
I can feel them howling at the
My
moon.
help.
Don't forget why we came here.
There's a name here
I won't forget,
that reeks
but you
of
can bet he
enemy.
knows someone's coming.
It's about time, Persephone.
Orpheus, I've been. What happened to the music?
I have been waiting for you, Persephone, for so long. And you brought a muse. Hi. Lovely tune, by the way. Can't remember the last time I collaborated with someone so talented. No offense, Benny. Welcome to my underworld. Let me treat you to a song, a welcome gift. I have the floor. It is mine, after all. Muse. Any requests? Questions?
What's your problem with Persephone?
Dow, 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 loop it. Dow, dow, dow. Dow, dow, dow. Dow, dow, dow. Dow, dow, dow. I didn't do what I was told, didn't know that it was all a game. I didn't think that he would do it. Then Eurydice was gone. And Persephone stood right beside him and said, what a shame. He was always gonna kill her and you knew it. And I never got to have my revenge. My pain never ends. I see you now. Persephone won't turn my back. I won't turn my back on you again.
I hear your torment and your suffering. They made your love disappear. I lost a friend. If I can find her again, that's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm
Orpheus,
here.
you're here for you are stubborn.
This is when you say you're certain you had no control. But I saw you smiling when your husband condemned my soul.
Corpses in crowns, tangled and trapped. Eyes full of cobwebs, only looking back. Don't you see what I see? Looks all dead to me, are both the same.
The same?
I like what you're doing, Muse, but I thought you'd be on my side.
The bard is to blame for the hell that he's been in.
Persephone, you're the reason I'm here. I'm not here to give in.
Oh, you think I will?
Can I get this through both of your heads? You're fighting over something that's dead. I mean, you should have seen this coming.
There's no point in reasoning with him, Grace.
Oh, I believe she was speaking to us both.
I certainly wish I'd seen you coming.
Let Persephone speak, let Orpheus speak, or have had it with this. I still can't decide. Actually, we've heard his
Your
name.
torment and your suffering. That's why you're our finest balladeer. You're wasted here. Let Hades burn. Your queen has returned.
Persephone, that's why I'm here.
I know.
That's why I'm here.
Hmm.
You didn't do what you were told, but you won't face the fact that you're to blame. Persephone, you blew it. You must understand each other by now. All of this is getting kinda old. What a shame. There's the door, walk through it.
But I never got to have my revenge.
Our pain never ends.
Our pain never ends.
Orpheus, I promise you now, belatedly, I won't turn my back. I won't turn my back on you again.
We have been fools.
You're right. Yet, what about the throne? We can't just leave it empty, can we?
Hmm. But then I would not be able to contact the Fates. But unfortunately, this apparently is the only choice I have. I literally can't take the throne for myself.
All that going around in circles, digging up old wounds, and for what? So you can fight over a chair. There.
You dare. What gives you the right to interfere in this manner? That throne was not yours to break.
It was anyone's.
Look around you, Persephone. Hades is empty. That chair you wanted so badly, it doesn't matter anymore.
It mattered to me. I paid for that throne with tears and blood, Grace. With years of humiliation you know nothing about. I thought we could help each other, but no. No, you would rather lecture me.
Because you're stuck in the past. Just like every idol.
So what's your plan now, Grace? I assume you must have one after that big demonstration.
Hmm.
My plan? It's exactly the same as it was before.
You've lost me.
Come on, Persephone. Do you expect me to believe you haven't been waiting for this since you met me? You wanted to do this, but you couldn't. You needed to convince me, to convince Apollo, to convince Hermes to help you. And for that, you'd say anything, right? You'd tell us there was a way to contact the Fates.
Which there never was. You're correct.
And Freddy?
If the throne alone could bring somebody back from the dead, surely even Orpheus would have figured it out.
That's it then. We came here for nothing.
I doubt the Fates would have responded even to the mirror, Grace. And the boundaries of death cannot be commanded away. Not even by the ruler of Hades.
Then what is this throne good for? Just a fancy chair? Bragging rights?
At the very least, I had hoped we might find your friend's spirit.
Why? We can't bring her back.
Not without great sacrifice, no. No, the rules of death are clear. Yet you might have spoken to her. I know what it's like not to get the chance to say goodbye.
Hey.
Freddie, you're here.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually been watching you since you arrived. It's not like there's much else going on.
Fred,
No, don't even start, Grace. I made my decision. I don't regret it one bit.
You shouldn't even have been there. I never should have gotten you involved.
Hey, no. You didn't get me involved. I got myself involved.
And look what happened.
I got to be the hero of the story. Just for one shining moment. How cool is that?
This isn't a story, Fred.
Huh? You're wrong. It is a story. And you need to finish it. Without me. Hey, no.
I guess this is it, huh?
Almost. I found someone while I was down here. Someone you really need to meet.
Calliope? This... You can't be real. Your soul is inside Grace. Idols
My
don't...
Eidolon is inside Grace. The rest of me... I'm here, Persephone.
This is real.
I guess you two were better acquainted than you said. Huh, Persephone?
We parted ways years ago. Persephone couldn't take my lectures any longer.
I'd take them now. I miss them.
No, you don't. Think about how bitterly we argued at the end. Don't blame yourself. Not when there are so many fond memories to cherish instead.
I don't get it. I thought the Eidolon was Calliope's soul. But if that's true, then...
The Eidolon is what makes us an idol, but it's not our soul. Each of us adds a piece to it as it passes on.
But what about the memories?
The memories are but a reflection. And after the Eidolon is passed on, old memories become a reflection of a reflection. That's why the idols have forgotten so much. You knew this truth once, Persephone. Long ago.
We need to know what happened to you, Calliope. How did you die?
Why didn't you come to me? If you were in trouble, I would have protected you.
I know you would have. But I couldn't let you be drawn into Apollo's prophecy as well.
Apollo's prophecy?
He didn't tell you? No. I don't suppose he could have. It's a long story.
You don't mean to say that Apollo is responsible for your death, right? But his prophecy is.
Yes. It said I needed to die.
Someone else knew about the prophecy. Athena.
No.
Then she sent the Furies after me when I went to the reliquary. I barely escaped. I fled back to the mortal world. To you.
Why did you go to the reliquary? We know about the mirror, But
You wanted to annul the prophecy.
And the Fates are the only ones who could, if they would even help me. I doubted it, but I was desperate. I never got the chance to ask. Someone told Athena where I was going, and she must have realized what I meant to do.
But how did she get the Furies to attack you? They aren't pets. You didn't break any of the old laws.
I don't know. Maybe it's something the ruler of the idols can do. But you'd have to ask Athena.
you went to Pan for the key to the reliquary, right?
Yes. He's the reason I knew about Nyx's mirror, actually. He told me about it long ago.
He told Medusa where you went. She, I expect, told Athena.
Oh. Pan couldn't have known what it would mean. I didn't explain.
That's it. You forgive him, just like that.
I'm sure he feels guilty enough, my love.
Apollo hates using his power. Why would he have given a prophecy to Athena?
Because she demanded it. She was desperate.
How did you even find out?
Apollo was horrified after he delivered the prophecy, and he refused to stay silent. And he came to warn me. He was torn. Telling me meant I was locked into it. I still think he did the right thing. Though I expect he disagrees.
What was the prophecy? Surely I need to hear it.
If I tell you, you'll be locked into it, just like me.
But the prophecy doesn't just say you have to die. There's more to it, right? They always require interpretation.
Apollo told Athena that. He begged her not to jump to conclusions, but maybe she was right.
It doesn't just involve you, does it? It involves me. It must, or you wouldn't hesitate.
Athena wanted to know if there was a way to save the idols. The answer was this. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives.
And I'm the last muse.
And now you know the prophecy.
Why come to me? Of all the places you could have run to, why come to my apartment?
Because I was dying.
But I couldn't save you. I barely even knew you.
I was wandering the streets that night, wondering if I should go to the reliquary or just flee. And I heard you singing. I followed you home after to see where you lived. I didn't know what would happen to me, but I thought, just in case, I knew I had to hold out until I reached you.
And you made it. For what it's worth, thank you.
You're thanking me?
You gave me a gift, Calliope. Everything that happened afterwards, it wasn't your fault.
Thank you for saying that, Grace. Truly.
Do you blame Athena for what she did?
She wanted to save the idols. And I wanted that too.
Well, I blame her. And Apollo for not telling us what she'd done.
If he had, Grace would have been locked into the same fate as Calliope.
We don't know that.
I have to go back. And I have no idea what will happen. None of this seems real.
So fights the highs, the miseries. I'm so proud of you, but it's time to go. I never truly saw before how trapped we were, so far from shore. Great at the time, but it's time to go. It's time to go. Deep within my soul, you will remain with me, a best friend through the dark. Gone, you're irreplaceable. It's time to go. It was quick and so was I was not prepared to die, but Grace, I choose this, and I know you'll get by. It's time. So many years of history, the fights, the highs, the miseries. I'm so proud, Grace. Freddie, I gave everything to watch you go. I know. Now it's time to go. It's time to go.
You've returned. And I see Freddie isn't with you. I'm so sorry, Grace. Did you at least get to speak to the Fates?
No.
Then what happened?
Then we found Calliope.
Calliope, but her Eidolon is inside you. How
It
could...
doesn't work like that. The Eidolon is only a part of an idol. The rest just...
Calliope told us what happened. The prophecy, how you warned her, how you've been lying to us. You knew. You knew the truth this entire time, even when you said you were helping Grace.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Is there more you haven't told me? Did you know about the Furies as well?
No. I didn't know how Calliope died.
But you knew Athena was behind it.
I thought I could nudge you in the right direction. Help you find the truth without learning about the prophecy.
Well, you failed. We know it now.
Then it's done. You're locked into it.
Isn't the prophecy open to interpretation? Couldn't you be wrong about how it ends?
When am I not wrong, Grace?
Tell us the full prophecy first so we can,
That's right.
Work on the
Leave. That's what
interpretation.
you're best at. I don't know how this will affect your trial. We could tell them what we've learned. Even without proof, it makes enough sense that Athena couldn't just brush it off. But if she believes you need to die in order to save the idols, if she truly believes that, it won't matter what anyone says.
Look, about what happened in Hades.
Which part? The part where you denied me the throne, or the part where I lied to you so I could use you? You did what you had to do, and I won't say I didn't have it coming. It's freeing, in a way. I intend to keep my promise. We go to the trial and I'll help you, even if it means overthrowing Athena. Calliope would approve.
But what about...
Just so you understand, our chances aren't good. I suggest you do whatever necessary to prepare.
Great.
Cannot continue. Let's go talk to Pan. It's been a while since we've talked to this man.
Pan?
And he's
Are
clever.
you here?
Maybe he has some ideas.
Pan! All right then. Guess I'll just head off.
I thought you didn't want to see me anymore. You're not here to yell at me, are you?
No, I, wanted to apologize.
Apologize? To me? Well...
For thinking you might be behind Calliope's murder. Turns out that's not the case.
Oh, then you've learned something, haven't you? Something not exactly pleasant. I see. Isn't that always the way? Care to tell me what it is? It's been said I can be a fine listener. I might even have some advice. One never knows.
We came for him
Okay.
for advice.
Where do I begin?
Well, of course it was Athena.
Wait, you knew?
No, how could I?
So what now?
Flee the city.
What?
I know people who know people. I could take you. If we went far enough, even Athena might let you go.
Here's the other thing: is as long as the idols cannot continue, so long as the last muse lives. That doesn't mean that the last muse has to die. It just means you have to give up on the idea of the idols continuing. But it doesn't say continue how, why, whatever. Continue is an interesting phrase.
No, she wouldn't. And after everything I found out, I don't want to.
And it until the bitter end, are we? I'm not good at this part.
Which part?
This. Regret. Being a survivor means you get used to doing things you would rather not.
You don't fool me, Pan. You act like you don't care about anyone but yourself, that you don't feel things like guilt. But it's just an act. You didn't kill Calliope, but you still feel responsible, don't you? That's why you came to me. That's why you sent me to the reliquary. You just can't admit you're not the heartless monster you think you are.
Do consider my offer. There's no reason for you to go to trial quietly. Like a good little girl.
I'm not. not? I intend to fight. Because that's what I do.
Let's see. I suppose we can go see Apollo, although I'm not expecting much, but...
Oh, it's you. Paul comes in, mopier than his usual mopey self, and won't say a word about why. But of course, it's you.
Look, I know you care about Apollo. I'm not here to hurt him.
Uh-huh, yeah. And, why should I believe you?
Because I just came to talk. I want to sort this out. If I can.
I guess I can go ask him if he wants to talk to you. Don't be surprised if he says no, though.
It's all right, Oracle. I think Grace and I need a moment alone, if you please.
Oh, sure. Don't mind me. It's not like I was in the middle of anything.
I know how Persephone feels. But not you. You'd have every right to be furious with me.
So you've said. I'm more worried about you, actually.
Worried about me? After all you've been through?
I lost Freddie. I can't lose anyone else.
When I first became Apollo, I was so sure I could help people. Help the world. I ignored the warnings.
Oracle's great.
You have no idea how many lives I ruined before I stopped. I never should have given in to Athena. This one time, I thought that maybe it will be different.
You don't know everything, Apollo. Half the problem is that you and every other idol thinks they do.
What do you mean?
Trying to prevent the prophecy is what's making it come true.
So you want to, what, stop trying?
Maybe.
I hope you can forgive me, Grace.
There's nothing to forgive, Apollo. You did what you could for a friend. You didn't owe me anything.
I guess all that remains is the trial. Whatever happens, Grace, I'll be standing right there by you.
Thank you.
Okay, Persephone. She's already said she'll be on our side, but we might as well talk to her. I'm assuming I can't continue on without talking to her, so... Seems like I've got Apollo on my side, and Pan might show up, might not. We'll see.
Did you forget something, Grace?
It felt like we hadn't quite finished our conversation.
It seemed pretty finished to me. What more is there to discuss?
Why didn't you tell me about you and Calliope?
What, tell you I loved her so you and Apollo could pick apart our relationship and then cast me as the murderer? Tell you I spent 2 years hoping she would return, only to find out that that was never gonna happen? Tell all of that to the one she was now a part of, who would one day remember everything we were? Oh, Calliope. Calliope would not have approved of the way I acted. But then she seldom did. It was so good to see her in Hades, to have her say she forgives me. I just wish it were as easy to forgive myself.
You could apologize, you know. We could start over, from square one.
You shatter my throne without so much as a by your leave. And I'm the one who apologizes?
I could go first, if you like. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too, believe it or not. Is that better?
It's a start.
She's such a tsundere.
Is it any easier out there? Do you miss being immortal, Grace?
I mean, I've only been a god for...
Eventually I will. I'll always wonder what I might have become.
I never gave it a second thought before. Now I wonder.
All right, well. Place where it all started.
So this is it. All your new friends have lied to you, but somehow they're gonna get you through the trial, right? I wish Freddy were here.
Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. I'll embrace the fire as it burns deep inside, bright enough to guide me, an ocean defied. But as I burn, they've all turned away one by one. In the end, am I alone? Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold water, no star to be seen. In your heart, we remain. You do not sail in vain. In my heart, you remain. I do not sail in vain.
Okay, here we go.
Her owl isn't here.
Hello?
Oh, Grace, there you are. Everyone is already waiting for you on Olympus.
Athena, we really need to talk. Like right now.
There's nothing left to talk about, Grace. Whatever you have to say, you can say it at the trial.
Of course. Of course, if she sent the Furies, doesn't that mean she violated one of their rules of idols killing idols?
Welcome to Old Olympus, dear.
So she took over Olympus. I suspect she also probably killed Zeus.
A real place?
It's the memory of a real place, which for us is the same thing. Let's begin, shall we?
Hey, Pan did show up. Was expecting Persephone to show up, of course. And Apollo.
Brothers, sisters, everyone, look around you. We few who remain fled to this new land to escape the war, but we are not out of danger. I waited to tell you until I was certain, and now I am. The idols are dying. It will not be long before even our immortality deserts us. The time for extreme measures has arrived.
Let's see.
I have to ask, why are you bringing this up at my trial? What's the connection?
Execution is an extreme measure, Grace. Yet, it is sometimes necessary.
For someone who claims to be about saving lives, you seem to find it necessary an awful lot.
Each of you is here because I brought you here. I protected you. I carved out this space in a strange land so we could survive. I am at this trial to tell you that, as always, I will
I thought that was
look out for you.
Hephaestus.
I will save you.
I thought Hephaestus
Trust
was
in
the one
me,
that saved you.
Pallas Athena, daughter of Zeus and leader of the chorus, and I will do anything it takes to keep you all alive.
Even if it
You'll
means
do
killing you.
anything? It must be difficult. Feeling as if everything is on your shoulders, and yours alone. One moment of weakness and it all falls apart. You've been doing this for so long, you don't even know how to stop, do you?
Oh, dear child, why on earth would I stop?
Because what you've done is wrong. If it wasn't, then why not come clean? Go on. Tell them about Apollo's prophecy. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives. Isn't that how it goes?
It's true.
We spoke to Calliope in Hades. She told us how you sent the Furies after her.
You couldn't have.
Yes, I could. There's more to an idol than just the eidolon. Maybe you even knew that once, But you've forgotten it, just like all the idols have. You don't know everything, Athena.
No, no, no. I do not accept this. You are lying.
You're the one who's been lying. Or would you like to explain to the idols how you murdered Calliope based on a vague prophecy? Tell them.
Yes, it's me. It's me. Of course, it's me. The one who gets it done. Don't you see? It had to be. You all turn away when I got the fish. Then you cry, hooray, once it's on the dish. That's how we do this. Yes, we. Yes, you and me. I have always cared for you. I'll always do all these things for you. All these things that you are not prepared to do. You, it's not just you. Time to put you in check. There are other idols too. You irritating speck.
Aren't you aware?
Sorry, little bird. It's time. All these people time to wring your neck.
Leave her alone. She's not where the disease is. You want a tumor? Cut out nieces. Won't get a fight here. No shining night here. I'm only here for the dance. And I don't wanna dance with blood on my hands.
You do that for me.
Redemption could be nice.
None of you see. So it's down to me. It's fine. I'll take all the blame. I'll take all the pain. Think you see it all. You just see a scrap. You wanna make the call. You need to hold the map. You cloistered children. It's time for you and all who stand with you. Yes, you too. Form a queue. Time to follow through. Inside, somewhere inside, in that mind, there's a war. You're not sure. Don't be so sure. We're not the same, never the same.
I only wanna dance with you. What a sweet eternity.
Let's see. Uh, I think this is a bad idea. She's not even an idol. Neither is he, for that matter. Eros is an idol.
Grace, I love you. Oh, not in that way. I just meant to say you're great, Grace, and I'm with you. Or I'm not with you. I'm just you know what I mean.
God, I love him.
Aphrodite, she'd stand with Grace too. Grace showed her mercy when she didn't have to show mercy.
Of course, it's me. Because of me, this prophecy would come to be. My Olympus is gone, and you're all looking on at her stranger wearing my face. My Olympus is gone. Now I'm some other one. Just how long has she been in place? Give it time, you'll find even an island drift. You don't notice 'cause it only moves in teeny tiny shifts. There was a voice in me that shouted, Athena, you be strong. Be strong. No cost is great enough. It was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong, and now I don't know what the right thing is. I leave it up to you what to do with this.
I started with blue.
All these years you ruled this place. I think it's time you made some space. Enough of you. It's overdue. Step away. Let it go. Fresher hands should steer this boat and sail it to something new.
Are you finished? You've been talking forever.
We're done, yes.
And? So you're in charge now, I'm guessing.
For the moment, but it appears we're about to have a repeat of what happened in Hades.
What does that mean?
Perhaps you should explain, Pan. It was your notion, after all.
It's not that complicated, really. We're going to disband the chorus.
Not only that, we have decided to reveal ourselves to the mortal world.
You're planning to tell everyone what we really are? Isn't that risky?
Life is full of risks, my dear. Some of us will go into hiding, but for the rest of us, no more rules. No more living in the shadows. It's done.
I have a few thoughts as to how you could go about revealing yourselves.
Oh?
If there's time, we could prepare a campaign.
A campaign? You make it sound like preparing for battle.
It is, kinda. The idols would be stars before you know it. If you're famous enough, there's only so much that can be done to you.
Now that is a marvelous idea indeed.
I know there's a great deal left to be done, but if you all wouldn't mind, I'd like a moment alone with Grace.
We'll be outside. Make it quick.
Well, congratulations are in order, are they not? You've survived and proved me entirely wrong.
And fulfilled the prophecy while I was at it.
I was thinking the very same thing.
Apollo once said you don't realize the truth of a prophecy until it's already too late. This one said the idols couldn't continue.
So long as the last muse lived, which you have. And we are indeed not continuing.
Not like before, no. If only Athena could have understood there were possibilities beyond mere survival.
I meant what I sang. I am not a good man. If Athena had taken me up on my offer, the idols would have been better off. But I can try to be better. You make me want to try.
Let's see.
I like the sound of that. Just don't try too hard. I kind of like it when you're bad.
You don't say.
But not too bad. There's a line.
Then you've thrown down the gauntlet. I do like a challenge.
Good, because as it happens, so do I.
Ready to face the music? One more time.
Always.
Two months later. Weird fridge.
Of course you're all here. In my apartment. Why wouldn't you be?
We were waiting for you.
I thought, what's the first thing Grace would like to see when she returns home? The answer was obvious. Me.
How does it feel to be the idol spokesperson, appearing on every newscast, reputable and otherwise?
I'm
Exhausting.
exhausted.
The Oracle has been keenly following your progress. She records every appearance, every interview. She may be your biggest fan.
The way she talks, you'd think she never doubted who you were.
Well, at least she's been of great help to your online campaign.
Personally, I still can't believe they haven't rounded us up yet for dissection.
It helps that most people think the idols are some kind of stunt.
Everyone here has also been busy. Would you like to hear the latest?
Let's see.
I
Well,
heard
let's see.
Eros and Venus left the city together. Was that right?
You heard correctly. Venus wanted to use her fame to do good works as an activist, and Eros is assisting her.
Let's be realistic. He's there to catch her when her efforts inevitably implode.
Oh, I don't know. Helping others could be just the distraction the doctor ordered.
You're being uncharitable, sister. I was at one of Venus's rallies, and it was rather invigorating.
Aphrodite always did love being adored by the masses.
Well, at any rate, Eros sounded keen. He thinks this is a much better approach than wallowing in Olympus.
You mean he's glad to have time to pursue a new lover or two?
And why not? The boy is due.
What
Hecate
about
and Asterion.
Hecate and Asterion? Are they still at the reliquary?
Hecate leave the reliquary? I'd sooner believe the sun would go out.
It doesn't hurt that they seem enraptured with each other's company.
If only he hadn't finally confessed to Hecate where some of her missing books went.
Aw, did you have to give back your precious trophies, Pan?
Worse! She has me running errands. I'm searching for relics like some vagabond treasure hunter.
Having fun, you mean?
That too. I must admit, fleeing from boulder traps is more thrilling than you'd imagine.
I'd like to know what's kept you busy, Pan.
Oh, you know me. A little of this, a little of that.
Pining after you, relentlessly.
I'm not pining. Well, yes, I am, but I'm also busy. I'm producing an album of music, you see.
You? You're gonna cut an album?
I'm not doing the singing myself, no. I'm what's called a producer. I seek out talent and bring them into my new studio, you see. Just let them lie around and feel the creative juices flowing.
Where did you get a studio?
Not all of us immortals are broke, dear lad. Some of us managed our money, and I thought,
He did it for you, Grace.
I know you're busy saving us idols from the mortals, but I thought at some point you might like to return to your music.
You bought a music studio for me? Just in case?
Maybe? Yes?
He's
I
cute.
am so down with that. Thank you, Pan.
Let's see here.
And
How about
Medusa?
Medusa?
I take it she's no longer at the reliquary.
She's staying with me, for now. You did promise my help with her curse, if you recall.
Oh, how's that going?
Better than I might have expected. I have a few old friends who owe me favors, and they're making headway.
Oh, that's
Medusa is
good.
positively giddy at the prospect. She offered to help manage the underworld as repayment, which I can't say I mind.
You're, not worried about her snacking on the side, as it were?
Not if she wants her curse broken. We have an understanding.
It's kind of you to take such a chance, sister.
Oh, I'm used to handling the odd snake. Frankly, we owe her the opportunity to try.
Has anyone heard about Athena? It's been a while.
The revelation of the idols to the mortal world went far better than she could have dreamed. I think it shook her.
Well, she was wrong about a great many things.
As the goddess of wisdom, that's not an easy realization. So she left. Back to the old world.
If she wanted to punish herself, she could have nailed herself to a pair of boards like any other martyr.
Back to the old world? It's a long way to travel by herself.
Well, I asked her to go. There's so many of us who went missing during the war. The idols going public might bring them out of hiding. Athena wanted to leave, and this gave her a purpose. We'll see if anything comes of it.
Okay. How about Hermes?
Is Hermes still around? I'm surprised they're not here with the rest of you.
Well, we've barely seen them of late.
Was I imagining things, or was that scoundrel starring in a commercial for footwear? Branding.
Hermes has been busy. They've become a social media darling, or so the Oracle tells me.
The truly amusing part is that they're not even trying to be famous. They simply can't help it.
Hermes likes to people please, it's true.
Hopefully it won't backfire on them. Fame is a double-edged sword.
Hermes lives a charmed life. Never fear.
Well, it's odd seeing their face on so many billboards, but I agree. Let Hermes have their fun.
What about you, Apollo? Still planning on leaving the city?
Soon, I think. All the attention on the idols is proving rather taxing.
Ooh, running away again, brother.
I suppose you could say that. Really, I just came by to see Grace and apologize one last time.
I told you don't need to keep doing that.
Yes, well, I'm glad things worked out as they did. You'll all be fine without me.
You know, one day you will learn, brother. Not today, but someday.
How about you, Persephone? Any big changes?
Not unless you count my many trips to Hades. No, it's business as always.
Trips to Hades?
I am no longer its queen, but I am still the most familiar with its workings. And Hades is changing. Perhaps it's the mere fact that the mortal world is aware of us again. I don't know. Or something else is stirring.
You do have a way of darkening almost any mood, don't you? What happened to that sweet girl of yore?
She went to hell, Pan.
Is this something we should be concerned about, sister?
Not yet. I'll let you know. As for everything else, the club continues, more popular than ever. The world turns. What more is there to say?
I still can't believe it's all over.
Oh, it's scarcely over, Grace. Now that you've toppled the castle, it's barely just begun.
No, I didn't do that.
Don't be modest. It deserved to be toppled. You did a fine job.
Perhaps we should leave you alone, Grace. You must be tired from your trip.
Perhaps a round of drinks at the underworld, in Calliope's honor.
I'd like that, actually.
If it's all the same to you both, Grace and I will be along shortly.
Don't take too long, you two, or we'll start drinking without you.
Alone, at last.
I thought they'd never leave.
I thought I'd seen everything. I thought who I was all I could be. You know you changed the tune we've all been dancing to. Even this immortal satyr's gotta move when he sees you. And so I say let's do it. Momentum's never bad. Who knows who we'll be when we reach the end of night. Life that is lived lies between black and white. I rarely do pairs, but with you it feels right. You've thrown the board all pieces askew. Any plans I had pale next to you. What will you do now your life's in your hands? Is there more room for Pan? I am a scoundrel, truth be told. I live my life with all of my soul. I'll apologize till we're made whole. Oh, Grace, it's my heart that you stole. Come take my hand, come take a chance. I don't do slow. Come, Grace, let's share this dance.
That's cute. I like that. That was good. A mostly happy ending, minus Freddy dying, unfortunately. But that is often what happens in Greek tragedies. Or Greek stories is the hero must be pushed on by the death of a friend or family or something along those lines. So yeah, that was good. I like that. Be interesting to go back and see some of the other pathways that could have been taken, but I don't know if I will or not. It's kind of one of those stories that I like the outcome I got, so I don't feel the need to necessarily go back. Alright, so we still got an hour and 45 minutes. What game should we play next? I like that I was able to guide the story to a mostly happy ending, essentially. Essentially what Athena was trying to do, funny enough. Just trying to make sure that everybody was happy in the end. Now I have to figure out what the heck I'm going to play for the next hour and 45 minutes. What the heck are we going to play? No idea, really. Got Remnant 2. I did recently do the get the DLC for that. Played some Generation Zero. Been playing that for a while recently. Let's see. Could do a few missions of after the stuff on BattleTech. Got I'm Back for Blood. Let's see here. Get my face front and center here, at least, while I look through the list. Let's see. We've got Project Zomboid. Don't know what to feel right now. I do actually have a game that is similar to what we just played, called Vampire the Masquerade. Coteries of New York. The only problem with this particular storyline is it is very much limited story. Compared to this, compared to Stray Gods. Let's see here. I also have to figure out what the heck I'm going to play come Tuesday. As whether or not I should go with a story-based thing or start doing something that's could do like KOTOR 1 or 2. It's been a while since I've played those. Call it early today? Yeah, I suppose so. Give me more of an idea as to what the heck I'm going to play next Tuesday. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and just call it there for today. That seems like a good stopping point. We ended ourselves on a high note, on a happy ending. And, yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. We'll go ahead and call it there for today. I'll be back Tuesday with whatever I figure out in the next 2 days as to what I'm going to play. So you all have a good day, good evening, good night. Thank you for coming, and I will see you on Tuesday. Obviously, also next week, Thursday, obviously won't be here because that's American Thanksgiving. So I'll be busy with family and all that fun stuff. So, all right. Is there anything else I need to think of? Day after Black Friday, but I'll be here for that. And I don't see anything in particular that's going to stop me. No. Your previous suggestion didn't bomb. The Hi-Fi Rush, I enjoyed that. So far you're 2 for 2. But yeah, no, I enjoyed Stray Gods. It's just this wasn't a rhythm game like I was worried it would be. So because I'm not particularly good with rhythm games. I may go back to Division 2, although it's kind of in a lull right now. We'll see. But yeah, I may also play, like I said, I may play some KOTOR, I may find some other story-based games to play. Generation Zero isn't really a story-based game, it's more like Terminator meets the 1980s Sweden teens, which is weird, but fun game. If you don't mind dying. Back for Blood, I don't think so. There's not much. I mean, there's a story there, but it's a pretty generic story. It's a zombie survival kind of thing going on. I could do the Red Dead Redemption campaign. I haven't done it. I've only played the online. I recently reinstalled Resident Evil 5. I could play through that. So anyway, I'll figure that over the next several days. Maybe I'll do a poll. So I will see you all. Wait, you're typing? Oh, you think so? I have no idea what the story is about, to be honest. So yeah, maybe I can give that a try. We'll see. Like I said, I'll probably get together a list of games, put up a whole poll, see if there's anything that anybody would like. All right, you all have a good night, and I will see you on Tuesday.